Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. You look at Blake Griffin in this game, he's been everywhere.
Yeah, you know, one of the things about the truly greats of our game is that sometimes you get spoiled because of how consistent they can be. And so far, another big scoring night for him.
And oftentimes when he puts up that many points in the first half, he follows it up with an even better second half. We'll see if that's the case here.
Inside, it's Griffin and Jordan. Chris Paul and J.J. Redick are the guards. And it's Johnson in at the small forward position. That's the 5 to begin the second half for Doc Rivers.
Really good job there. That's the definition of the inside-out game.
The 76ers trail by 5.
And guys, the Spurs coaching tree extends pretty far these days. Coach Brett Brown, another former member of the Spurs staff, to be leading an NBA team.
Okafor kicks to Noel. Pass to Covington. Philadelphia moving the ball around. Count that one. 8 points for Iverson.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
Well, Greg, for Brett Brown and the Spurs connection, he was an assistant in San Antonio for 7 years, was really indoctrinated into how the Spurs conducted business, Clark, before coming to the 76ers.
Yeah, he's got an interesting accent, too, a mix of Boston Australian from where he grew up and where he spent a lot of time, but no doubting his passion and his coaching ability. He's good in both.
He was actually a head coach for Australia for a while in international play. Here's Smith. It's hauled in by Los Angeles.
And the D does just enough to throw off his rhythm on that shot.
Paul with the ball. Now Smith defending. And another 3 for the Clippers.
3 for 3, and that's always a good way to start the second half.
The 76ers trail by 8. 2 minutes gone in this third quarter now. Iverson outside. 6 on the shot clock. Covington with the bucket.
And how about that for a response?
Well, it sounded as though, or at least it looked as though it sounded like, we'll give you a 3, and then we'll take it right back.
Griffin goes in. Jordan kicks to Redick. Pass to Paul. Griffin a screen on Smith. To the middle. Goes back up. And Griffin with the layup. Griffin's got 16.
A nice start to the second half. Just 1 miss in their first 5 attempts.
Chris Paul, guys, for the last decade, the best point guard in the NBA. Now, there's some new competition for that distinction, though, with Steph Curry breaking through to NBA stardom. And it's always exciting to watch these two go head-to-head.
Paul Pierce is checked in for Los Angeles. And Noel kicks to Smith. The drive by Iverson. And Okafor slams it in.
And great effort on the boards, and what a mean
dunk
that was, Gary. I mean, you just will not see him ever quit on a play.
That guy is a handful. You've got to have a body on him, Clark, at all times.
And you know what? Sometimes that's not even enough. He'll go around, over, or through you to get to the pumpkin.
How would you compare Chris Paul and Steph Curry?
Well, Steph Curry is just an off-the-chart shooter. I think the best in the history of the game in overall shot making and creativity as far as shooting goes. Paul is more of an orchestrator, a maestro supreme.
And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. Usually you talk about how tough a player is, and you're always talking about big guys. But Chris Paul is as tough as they come playing that little point guard position.
Yeah, he's a power pack when you look at him. I mean, he's played through a lot of injuries and still has a big-time impact on the game. Most recently in the playoffs, he played through injury to beat the Spurs.
Stauskas is checked in for Philadelphia. Marshall comes in for Ish Smith.
And last year, you could see Paul was hobbled in their loss to the Rockets in the second round. Still, most players wouldn't even have made it back out on the floor, much less been as effective as he was during the postseason.
The shot from 20 feet away. And he overshot that one, missing.
And honestly, not real happy with the shot selection on that one.
Yeah, clearly a brain phase there. He's got to be a little smarter in his choice making. Yeah, you know, that's the thing about Paul. He doesn't need to be blazing fast or quick to beat you. He can play seemingly on one leg and still dismantle a defense.
The Clippers have made 6 of their 7 attempts at the line in this one. And guys, Wesley Johnson, 4th overall pick back in the 2011 draft. Everyone thought he would have the jump shot to become a prolific scorer, and Clark, the length to defend at a high level.
Yeah, you know, in his rookie year, he averaged 9 points a game. Last year, his 5th, he averaged 10. I think it's to the point where he is what he is. What a pass by Marshall. That's outstanding teamwork.
And here is Paul. He's got 6. Pierce for 3. Rebound by Marshall.
You know, and getting back to Wesley Johnson, you kind of want to kidnap him and just chain him to a set of weights. I mean, he has all the natural ability in the world to be a difference maker, but he just lacks the strength to do anything with it. I mean, a voracious competitor in college. He's been relegated to marginal production at the pro level, and I really feel like a lot of it is because he physically struggles at times at this level.
Paul dishes to Jordan, and the wide open shot from Redick, and it's good. Assisting on the play was Jordan.
And we always talk about making your teammate better. That assist was right on target.
Marshall with it, still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Okafor kicks to Noel. Here's Marshall. And terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2.
And that's a great play on the backboard for him. I mean, it's what we expect. All his second chance points do not come by accident.
And the Clippers call time here. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game, and that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
Down low, and the dunk by Grant.
Assist from
And so here are the Clippers. The lead is 2. They get to take on the Blazers at Portland after this one. That will be a getaway game for them, a 1-game road trip. And Mbah-a-Moute against Grant. And Redick kicks to Jordan. Shot clock at 5. Here's Paul. It's hauled in by the 76ers. Marshall's got his 3rd rebound tonight, and it's Okafor off the drive, and the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jahlil Okafor. That is his first foul of the game.
Oh, great defense there. Anticipated the play and got there first.
And not afraid to put his body on the line either, Greg. He took a shot for the team in that situation.
Wilcox is checked in for Los Angeles. Crawford comes in for Chris Paul. And the 76ers will go for a different look here. Carlos Boozer's checked in for Okafor. Landry comes in for Noel. Caspi, he's checked in for Jeremy Grant. And it's Isaiah Cannon in for Nick Stauskas. Outside Jordan. Wilcox passes to Jordan. And Redick kicks to Mbah-a-Moute. Wilcox drills the three-pointer. Wilcox has got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. The 76ers trail by 5.
And really, the last few seasons, the Clippers have been one of the most consistently strong teams in the league. A far cry from when they were a bottom feeder back in the day. They have become one of the premier franchises in the NBA.
And a brief moment now to see who's atop the NBA in blocks. Andre Jordan is second.
Well, anybody on this list, Kevin, is going to have the ability to get stops in a spectacular fashion, in a game-changing, dramatic fashion, in a crowd-pleasing way. That's what shot blockers do.
Greg, as you said about the Clippers, the days of finishing near the bottom every year are over. Clark, a lot of that is Doc Rivers.
Exactly. Since 2012, Kevin, they have had the 3rd best record in the NBA. A lot of loyal fans stuck it out with the team during the dark days, and now they're reaping the fruit.
Landry in the post. He's against Jordan. And Marshall kicks to Cannon and stolen by Redick. Dishes it to Crawford. To the paint. And Boozer with the block. Here's Marshall. There's the feed to Landry. He kicks to Cannon. Caspi for three, and that one's good. Caspi's got the game tied up here for Philadelphia.
That's the kind of D that you're not going to find success with, guys. They've got to get a hand in the face.
Passes it to Redick. He feeds it to Wilcox. Tried to come right back with the three of his own, but it's no good. Now the dish to Caspi. Kicks to Cannon for the lead. And it's the Clippers with the rebound.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
There's the pass to Wilcox. 1:29 left to play in the third. Redick dishes to Jordan. Shot clock at 6. And it's J.J. Redick with the three. Redick's got 2 now from beyond the arc in the thirds for Los Angeles. Inside and out of bounds as Los Angeles gains possession.
And taking a look at some of the stats here for DeAndre Jordan. This last month, he's been positively spectacular. He's averaging 10 points a game, 12 rebounds, and over 2.5 blocks. And he's such a presence for them inside.
No question, he's blocked shots, controls the glass, does everything asked of him and more.
Griffin's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. And Philadelphia also making a switch. Iverson's checked in. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Redick.
And a chance here to see where the Clippers sit in the NBA statistically right now. Second in scoring, second in assists, and they're number 2 in fewest turnovers a game. I call that squeezing the orange, and that's a team effort, everybody valuing the ball.
And you talk about scoring. Tough to beat a team that can fill it up at all levels. Every time you get a bucket, they're coming right back at you with one of their own.
Another miss by Philadelphia.
Hey, they got the shot they wanted off of that pick, but it just doesn't fall.
Yeah, it didn't go down, but you'll take that shot every single time, Greg. That's good offense.
A nice shot by Griffin.
They haven't been as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. They're playing smart with the lead. I like that. They're being very selective and deliberate in their offense. That's a good strategy when you're on top.
Landry with the screen. Cannon kicks to Iverson. Here's Landry. And he didn't get quite enough under that one. And Carl Landry picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Redick passes to Griffin. He dishes it to Redick. Here is Mbah a Moute. No good. The third quarter comes to a close. The Clippers on top. They're up by 5. We'll be back shortly live from Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah. I realize this. I realize this. Respect this here. Check. I realize